Hey Golf Club, and welcome back to a Path of Exile video. This is a build update. Now, as many of you long-term subscribers will know, on the screen here is my Trickster Explosive Arrow character. If you caught the live stream of earlier today, the 7th of February, you would have seen we underwent some change. This was an Omniscience character using Explosive Arrow. That got changed into Omniscience Eyeshot, and that got changed into non-omniscience Eyeshot, with a lot of changes in between. So I'm going to go through the passive tree first, and then we're going to look at some gear, then we'll look at the MTX because everyone loves good MTX, and then we'll go through the updated leveling path of building. So there we go, this is the tree. We'll start off with the ascendancy points now. Of course, the first two ascendancy points you take at normal and cruel is entirely your choice which way you go round. I prefer taking one step ahead first because it gives that a little bit more movement speed and cast speed, and then I go for Polymath in Cruel Lab, and then in Merc Lab I pick up Escape Artist, because by that point you either have, or you should have, your Queen of the Forest or Hero's Bite, depending on which one you're doing, and that does that. The fourth and final one, as long as you don't take Heartstopper, because in my opinion it sucks, if you want to take it, by all means go ahead and take it, is your choice. I've taken Swift Killer. I'm testing that out. It seems pretty good at the moment. You could also take Spellbreaker, and that give you the suppress chance to free up some nodes on the tree. Or alternatively, you could take Soul Drinker. Now, in my personal opinion, I would rank them as Swift Killer, Soul Drinker, Spellbreaker, and don't play a Trickster. The rest of it is paranormal. We come through here, we come down here, we end up taking Ballistics, down for Finesse through Heart of Oak. We end up taking Charisma with the reservation damage per aura. We take Revenge of the Hunted with Grace Monores. We come up for Void Barrier with 1+1 energy shield per evasion on boots. Because of the four there, that is the better one in my opinion. We come up here, we take Leech and damage while leeching. We come through Blood Drinker, and I've opted to come up for one with Evil because the chaos damage at this high level is atrocious, and also means we can pick up Cannot Be Maimed and Cannot Be Hindered. Now this is the level 90 Beyond Heist version. If you're at level 67 Endless Heist or lower, don't go lower. Don't do Baby Heist on this character. Doesn't work. You haven't got enough masteries. Endless Heist or Beyond Heist. Don't stick at Baby Heist. I've tried it. It doesn't work. It's horrible. Trust. Down for Forces of Nature and the plus 15 elemental resistances. You could drop this for something else. Probably either go for the exposure or go for increased effect of non-damaging elements, or 1% elemental damage leech as energy shield. It depends what you've taken up here, depends what you take here, and depends on the gear you're toting around with you as well. Then we take the suppression node with the critical chances based on suppress chance, survivalist. Again, this is the level 90 version. The PAB I'll show you will have the highest. I've also taken Heartseeker with reduced crit, and we come down here for Master Fletcher, and Prod Speed does damage. I've got the Acuity for precision. I've come and nabbed a Watcher's Eye I had in my stash. It's Legacy. You cannot get that implicit anymore. Other than that, you should be able to pick one up if you're lucky. Double Grace Vitality. Frenzy Charges, because I've taken the Frenzy Charge Ascendancy nodes. If you haven't taken those, don't bother taking. If you haven't taken the Frenzy Charge Ascendancy points, don't take these. Probably come up and put them in life and nab another one to get Herbalism, just cuz. Primeval Force, no mastery on this one because we've already got one, so there's real no point. Down here for lethality and 1 increased % projectile damage per 16 dex. It was the best DPS option. Over here we've come over for Harrier and hired killer with 50 max life. We've come through reflexes, down to pick up Ritual of Might, which has been changed by our Glorious Vanity. And then we've also picked up the utility flasks, game 1, charge every 3 seconds. So we've got those two nodes. That one's corrupted. We've gone up through Sentinel to give us the armor evasion, over to the Totem Mastery to get this one for the attack speed, and then picked up the 5% of damage from hits is taken from your nearest totem's life before you, because totems are easy to summon. You can't be summoned if you're dead. Down here for the Dorianis, we've taken Corrupted Soul, which makes us so tanky, it's unbelievable. Check the seed before you buy one from trade, or unless you're farming them yourself. Potentially you could farm it on a different character, I don't know. But check the seed in POB before you buy one. The only real changes really is you've got to get Corrupted Soul here. You want a nice mastery there. Mana regeneration rate sucks, but meh, whatever. We've got area damage here, which doesn't... I'm not sure if it's that. I haven't checked actually. Might do. 6% increased mana was a great roll, and then obviously we've got Ritual of Might there, 4% damage, and 25% increased physical damage, which then gets converted. The other nodes here are situational. Depending on your seed, you might want to take these. There's a 12% cold node there, and there's effect on non-curse auras there. Plus, if I come around here, more evasion, area damage, and another Ritual of Might. Down here, we've got Flash to Flames, which meh, whatever. Spell damage and mana shield, and I haven't looked at the others, but yeah, depends on what your seed gets, depending on how many points you put in the circle. I've just gone for the Ritual of Might and the Corrupted Soul because my points have gone elsewhere. They were better DPS options. If I am talking too fast, I apologise. Long-term subscribers know I am autistic and can get a bit carried away. I suggest you slow the video down, and maybe you'll be better off listening to me that way. My live shows, I do talk slower, so don't fret. On to the character. We have got Legacy gear. Oh, apologies. I will admit I am still toting around a double Legacy Replica Conqueror's Efficiency. It's double Legacy because they don't exist outside of Standard anymore, so if you're in League you can't get one. And it's got the increased totem placement speed, which you can't get on Jaws anymore because that harvest craft has been removed. So you might have a hard time or getting your auras to the heights I have because I don't have the mana cost that you will have. Apologies for that. You could get around it with a jewel that gives you minus mana reservation, -3. That might help you a bit. Other than that, it's a free jewel socket for you to put a jewel in. Gear wise, we are toting a very tasty Heres Ire. A couple of leagues ago, or was it in Standard? I can't remember which. I hit it. I was trying to sell a white socket craft, and nobody wanted it on TFT, so I used it on my Heroes Buy and luckily hit 5 white sockets. It's not needed. Just use your bench and craft 1 blue, 1 red socket until you hit the 2 red, 1 blue and 3 green. Now it's up to you whether you use a Heres Ire or whether you use a Queen of the Forest. It's kind of interchangeable. If you do go for a Queen of the Forest, bearing in mind you'll have to pick up more spell suppress chance on the tree, which then means probably the easiest option for you to do is to pick up Spellbreaker and then grab these 2 nodes here, which will then put you back on suppress and give you even more movement speed. And in here we house our self-cast, where is it? Ice Shot, backed by Greater Volley, Mirage Archer, Trinity, Inspiration and Elemental Damage with attack support. Depending on your budget, you can swap out for suggested alt qualities and or awakened gems. So that's the chest into our Devoto's Devotion. This has got an increased mana reservation efficiency on there for a Wrath. Wrath would be the better one to go with because Grace is already reduced from our passive tree. So of course we are toting around with Precision for the extra crit chance, accuracy. This should be an alt quality. I haven't got round to replacing it yet. Got our Grace. The old qualities for Grace suck, don't bother. I've only qualityed it because I OCD. Anonymous Wrath with 20% quality. I'm not sure why I've gone, for 5% increased area effect of aura, that's why, to give us that nice buff of lightning damage. Over here we've got our Defiance banner for the anti-crit, or reduced critical strike chance, sorry, is the correct terminology. In our very bad bow, it's a Trinity bow, barely. The other 3 mods on there are pretty pants, but it's a Trinity bow, so we'll go from there. Inspiration, elemental damage with attacks, ballista totem, divergent eye shot, culling strike, and hypothermia. I've got culling strike in there for the unique and tanky rares. It does help just to take them down that a little bit quicker. Onto our gloves, very tasty gloves I had sat in my stash, and then I crafted the Juncraft of crit chance and increased elemental damage if you've dealt a crit strike recently. This holds our anomalous casting damage taken, molten shell, life tap level 1, and then separate to those is our anomalous vitality. You have to keep vitality separate from the casting damage taken setup, because although vitality cannot be supported by any of these gems, it does get their mana multiplier. So weird but strange. In our very tasty boots, and for your boots you must, or I strongly recommend at least 30% movement speed. If your budget manages to make up, get 35% increased. The enchant on there is quite nice, 100% crit chance if you haven't crit recently, which goes well with our glove enchant. So hopefully this will help us crit, then we get the crit, then we get the increased elemental damage. Yay! In the boots we've got our frost blink linked with efficacy, which doesn't do anything, increased duration, which doesn't do anything, and then our phase run. It was just easier to do this setup than play with links. It was easier to craft the boots with 2 sockets, hit 2 blue, then go 3 sockets, get the red, 4 sockets, got a red, go back down to 3 sockets, up to 4 sockets, got the green, link, job done, easy peasy. Rings, pretty standard rings really, a high intelligence roll, life, and whichever res you want. And then the minus mana cost, I'm slowly getting fertilizer catalyst from running Jun from the card. Hillock has a chance of giving you the fertile catalyst card. It's 2 per set, gives you 1 fertile catalyst. It's a long grind, but you can do it that way if you have another character, or alternatively just buy the cards from trade or buy the fertile catalysts from trade. Either or, one of those, and then that'll get you down to -8 total mana cost, plus it'll increase your life as well. Yay! On the other ring we've gone, we haven't gone for minus mana, we've gone for minimum frenzy charges, and then we've got on there attack modifiers to increase our elemental damage attack skills, life, mana, and res. Ultimately the important thing really is to get 2 amethyst rings to help you cap your chaos resist, and then situational crafts, either minus mana or something else that's beneficial depending on what prefixes or suffixes you have got available. Because I'm high level, I'm not in endless heist, I have opted to go for the Shaper Quiver, 29% increased elemental damage with attacks implicit. I've had to get lightning damage onto attacks on there to keep my Trinity, and then it was prod speed, damage to bows, and then there was a useless modifier on there along with the low cold res. So I used an annul, hopefully hitting the cold res, because the other one gave me about 50 DPS. Hit the other one, but I was like, yeah, well, that's good enough. And then we put on there the crit chance and chance to gain a frenzy charge, which again is a Jun Unveiled craft. Here's Bite will do you wonderful well for cheap quiver to get you going until you can buy something similar to this, or just any primal quiver base will do you. Doesn't have to be Shaper. Belt, I've got quite a tasty belt. it's the strength on this. It's a high strength and then attribute modified to get me to 155. The only reason I have gone to 155 strength is this character levels up gems in their offhands for my gem collection. So as you can see, I've got an Ancestral Cry, Block Chance, Arc, Ancestral Protector, Cowardly Curse damage, and Advanced Traps. I need all these for my standard gem collection, so they sit on this character. So I need 155 strength and 155 intellect. You don't need that. I think the strength requirement tops out at around about 140. So as long as you hit that between your rings, amulet, and your Stitch Vice, and or Suffolk Crafts on your boots / gloves, you'll be fine. So this is the kind of belt you're looking for: res, life, strength, and then an open prefix to get elemental damage craft, or buy a belt with that on there, your choice. For the eye, I've had this in my stash. Life, fizz damage. Try not to get any added damage to your stuff. I had to get this with added lightning damage to balance my Trinity. The quiver is probably the last thing you want to buy, because you may need to get it with some damage on there to attacks for Trinity. Trinity's the best gem for elemental damage, but you need to balance your elemental damage, which is why, although the suffixes on this bow are really bad, the rolls on it, the prefixes are really good, because it's balancing my Trinity, and getting that Trinity balance is so important. So the added physical damage is fine because we can convert that over. Anything else, don't bother. What else have we got? Oh yes, the amulet. I've got a hunter base, and I got +1 level to all dexterity skill gems with the -mana enchant on there. I've also put attributes on there because, again, I wanted to have the 155 strength. The fire resistance was an added bonus and allowed me some flexibility on my resistances. And then, of course, we've whacked on sovereignty to help us with our mana. And there we go. My trinket is a double chaos orb convert with a useless other mod. I'm looking for a better one. I haven't found one. I refuse to buy one from trade. Trinkets are really expensive. Get whichever trinket you feel is best for how you are doing your heist strat. Flasks. My favourite prefix is more recovery if used while on low life. So your life gets down to about here, you hit your flask and you are fully healed. That's why I use Eternal Life Flasks. If I'm going for that prefix, I use Eternal Life Flasks. And we've got a really bad corrupting blood immunity on there. It needs to be higher, but this is the one I had at the time. It's a tier 4. So tier 2, more recovery, and a tier 4. A reduced charge silver flask for the onslaught. Because we're not a raider, onslaught is amazing, and with a reduced curse effect, awesome. Granite flask, increased duration because we shouldn't be getting hit that much, and the new game charges is ridiculously low. It's okay, but if you're not getting hit that much, I'd rather have the increased duration, so that's what we've gone for. And the anti-freeze chill, and our jade flask is our increased duration with immunity to ignite and burn. The reason this particular character is not running Queen of the Forest is because I'm in standard and I have a legacy Quicksilver Flask of the Hair with an enkindling orb, 85% increased duration. So it lasts a hell of a long time, and I've got 21% increased movement speed rather than the new / nerfed 8%. This is a legacy Quicksilver Flask. You cannot get it unless you're playing in the standard league, not Sanctum or another 3-month temporary league. Okay, that's the passive tree, that's the gear. MTX, Dragon God hat, Darkwood weapon skin, iridescent weapon effect, I have no idea where it came from. Oh, Calandra lead, way. Insatiable Malice body armor, mystic gloves, mystic boots, Periator Apparition Portal Effect, and Gemling Sage Portrait Frame. Other than that, we've got the Dragon Totem skin on our totems. I don't usually do MTX on gems until we hit level 95, but meh. We've also got the invisible buff effect. I believe that is on the banner. Yes, because the banners look ridiculous. And that is all the gem MTX. And that's all the MTX. Oh, and I've also got the Prospera's ring, because yay, why not? So that's the build. I've got my keybinds set up. So we've got phase run here. For those not understanding, I don't have anything on my left click. I have medical conditions, which means the right hand side of my body is what's the word? Reduced capability. So I can't have anything on left click. I'm able to use my mouse to click to move a little bit, but not constantly. It causes massive amounts of pain down my arm, shoulder, and back, etc. So I have to mainly use keyboard, which is why I play a lot of Path of Exile. Very few other ARPGs allow movement on keyboard. That's usually stuck permanently on the mouse, and you can't put it anywhere else. So phase run. Self-cast Eye Shot, Frostblink for getting past bunches of rares when phase runs on cooldown, totem placement, cut the Molten Shell from casting damage taken. I know it can't be used, but it's here so I can keep an eye on the cooldown. So as soon as it procs and then goes off, I'm keeping an eye on this so I know when I need to keep out of danger. With all that in mind, let's run a level 83 contract, which I prepared earlier. It's an agility one. Tulina is toting a very bad sharpening stone because it's got what I wanted at the time, which is regen life, lockdown, and reduced travel fee. I'm in the middle of rolling her a new one. It's just taking time. We've got an okay-ish Silkweave Soul. 8% chance to generate alert level on opening a chest. The other two rolls are a bit meh. We have the Foliate Brooch with rarity, chance to duplicate contain basic currency, increased lock time, and rarity. It's a pretty naff brooch. The only reason I've kept it is because of the dupe chance for basic currency. I am in the middle of rolling her a new one. Cloak. 8% reduced alert level from opening chests, 10% reduced hiring fee, and massive amounts of movement speed when not in lockdown. That's her gear. It's okay-ish. Not the best gear I've got. So let's go through this then. So as you can see, my flasks are automatically ticking off because of the +1 charges, and then recharges when you use full. I completely ignore my flasks. Get the map up through here. I kill everything because I want a level. So this is not going to be your normal run through and grab everything. This is going to be a bit of a kill fest. I want the XPs. And I don't use, but I rather click to because I know it's done. My Trinity kicking off. Yeah, there's a lot less DPS tonight. I was doing more DPS earlier. Haven't changed anything. There we go. The reason I'm using Greater Volley, someone asked me in my live chat earlier today. If you use Greater Multiple Projectiles, it comes out in a fan of 5 or 6. Now, if you look, if I stand it here and I fire straight down, if you're firing in a 5 or 6, 2 of those arrows are going to hit the walls and do nothing in Heist, specifically to Heist. However, Greater Volley, you've got almost full coverage. Straight down. Boom, boom, boom. So that is why I use Greater Volley over GMP. And the other reason is, according to POB, Greater Volley is a slightly better DPS. So we all want more DPS, right? I'm not particularly fast. This particular character is not built for speed. As you can see, I'm not in the League Sanctum. This is in Standard, so there's a lot less effort put on speed. Well, from my point of view anyway, because this is the permanent League or permanent Standard, whichever you prefer, or non-League, whatever you want to call it. There's no real time limit of going, oh, I've only got 2 months to get my currency, I've only got this, blah blah blah. It doesn't matter really, so it's another reason why I don't particularly go fast. What was that? Oh dear. Cycling damage reduction, here we go. Not much you can do about it. It's just keep laying totems, frost blinking, just do much damage as you can. Absolutely horrible. I hope they take this out. It's a ridiculous modifier. Hey, and that's why we have Cold Strike. Cold Strike strikes again. What we got? And oh, we are with you, so that's fine. Missed the chest over here, so we'll go and pick that up. I save my Quicksilver until I'm running out. All maps. Surprise. I'm used to getting maps in Heist. What's this? Some sort of game we get maps in Heist? Gee whiz. There we go. I should just speed through. I'll tell you what, I'll do this one how I normally play it, and then I'll grab another one and we'll do a proper Heist speed run through. I'll do a deception for the speed run through. That way you'll get what the damage is like, and then I have the one thing I'm missing on this build actually is a curse. A curse on hit. A curse on hit would go really great. I'm not sure which curse would be better. That would be something you'd have to POB. I'd probably get it on a ring, not an implicit, just like a delve ring. So I'd probably do rather than the corrupt. I mean, you could get a corrupted one, I suppose. It depends what's available. It depends on your budget. Because we're doing multi damage, you'd probably better off getting the elemental penetration gem. The only way to get that is to sell replica bitter dream with a level 20 cold pen, lightning pen and fire pen gem, and then you get elemental penetration. It's the only way to get that gem. So first of all you need to get hold of a replica bitter dream, which, you know, Heist replica, way, and then level cold penetration gem, fire penetration gem and lightning penetration to level 20. Doesn't have to be quality, it just needs to be level 20. And then you can sell all 3 gems plus replica bitter dream and you get one level 1 elemental penetration gem back. It is a pain to level. It's almost like leveling an awakening gem, so you are better off qualitying it with the full 20 and then 20 quality and then leveling it up. The other way to do it is to get elemental weakness curse. You could do it that way. Either corruption, which would probably be the easier way rather than the gem. It depends how you want to do it. There are options. Save, click. Oh, Pog. Nice, that gives me another one to roll for Vindiri. No, I don't think I need one from +1 levels for him. Not very good fossils, but that's fine. Pick that up and away we go. I think there might be an agility. Yep. Even with the casting damage taken molten shell, this character is not tanky enough to run through the beams. It's the only problem. I went the wrong way again. I did that earlier in the live stream, kept on going the wrong way. I do stream on YouTube, so just give me a follow on Twitter. I always post about, well, I try to post about an hour before I go live. It's usually in the afternoon GMT time. Ooh, wow, that was a lot of damage. Get out of that. Not sure why I stopped to try and kill stuff there. That was a bit stupid. Should have just run through it. There we go. Right, anyway. That's that one done. That was a lot slow because I'm killing stuff. Dump all this in my tabs. Go in there. I'll sort that out later. Right, now let's do a speed eye level 83 to Gianna one. Deception, I forgot what it's called. Now, Gianna's gear, we have Arrowhead with flask charges gained, job speed and travel fee. The job speed is completely irrelevant for Gianna when running Deception because she doesn't need it, but it was the one I rolled at the time. It was better than anything she had. I need to re-roll that. This has got currency, duplicate divination cards and rogue marker value. It is really good. I love having divination cards, and stacked decks are basic currency, so it's a chance to duplicate those. And obviously RMV is awesome. RMV rogue marker value. Her thing is pretty crap. 7% chance not to generate with job speed and lockdown. It is horrible. I need to roll her a new one. Alts is the problem there. And then we've got reduced alert from opening chests, lockdown and movement speed, which is quite awesome. So this is a proper one. This is the speed eye level 83, sorry, deception one. We are going to be looking at the large chests. Probably not going to bother with the small chests, probably just going for the large chests. Double Harbinger and divination cards. Please note I am on a very high level strict loot filter, and divination cards are set up for my divination collection, not ones that make me the most profit. We open these for annuls, ancient orbs. Lots of people still like to use ancient orbs. With Gwenin being nerfed to oblivion, trying to get mage bloods, headhunters, squires, etc. And of course, why am I stuck? Oh, did I get stunned there? Maybe. Is a what's it there? Right. I've activated my Quicksilver flask. Again, this is a legacy flask, so I'm going that fast without a Queen of the Forest. Normally I'd pick up the small chests, but in League I wouldn't bother. I'd just go for the... Oh, come on, open the doors. Go for the large ones and then do a runner. Through here, get the last door. Although in League I probably wouldn't play this character because it's not that tanky. I'm trying to solve that issue, probably with a determination, but then we lose out on DPS. So I've not died on this character. It's just, you do get chunked a bit sometimes, so just be wary of that. You've got a ton of ES and health, plus every time you kill something you get more regen than your total life pool and ES is. So, and there we go, eye level 83 Gianna Deception contract. So it does work when you're doing speed. We've got not bad divination cards actually, there we go, and 5 stack decks. And there we have it, that is the build. Let's go back around to Vindiri. I know it's a bit of a long one, but this is an updated build guide, so what do you expect? Whee! I'll have, there we go. Right, so let's bring on the POB. Now, this POB is the one I did for Explosive Arrow. Nothing's really changed. The best way to level it is still by going the trap route. Traps do amazingly stonky damage. If you do them, because you can use wands, you get the double wands with the one crafts, and you chunk through the campaign, hit level 6, go and do Lily's quest, buy all your gems. There's a little respec of a tree to do here. I've got all of the respective gear all the way through to Act 10, even into the True Endless Heist. Click on the top there, it shows you skills. The gear matches as well. So there's 4 to 6 when you start getting your 4 links, possibly a 5 link. You do your respect after you've opened Lily with your crafted / trade brought Here's Bite. And then you go into 6 to 10 where you get your Merc Lab. You go for your Queen of the Forest or Here's Bite, your choice, they both work. And then you're into True Endless Heist. Again, Queen of the Forest or Here's Bite, your choice. It's all done, dusted. The trees are down here as well, like I said. And then here, for if you want to go beyond level 67, and it depends on your currency, you can carry on with the iShop build. My character is an iShop build. You could go into Omniscience, which does require a massive respec, not only in gems but in tree, and more importantly in gear, because first of all you need to get your crystallized Omniscience amulet, quality it up with attributes, and then thwack a divine judgment on there. And then easiest way to do it is pick up a well-rolled cyclopean coil, whack it with attribute modders, and then it's just getting all those attributes on the gear, and that is where the pain lasts. I mean, this has only got 1.2k Omniscience, and it was really bad. Although the damage does nice, the tank wasn't there, so you need to get up, I would suggest, to at least 1.5 before doing the changeover. We have a comprehensive notes section here, how to level it, links to look out for before the act, what your links are looking like at the end of the act, if you're in Trade League, unique options, if you're in SSF, what unique options might be beneficial. Astromantis is just too good for any part of this build. Astromantis is the easiest way. Until you get a plus levels amulet, Astromantis is just get one of those, well rolled one. It's so easy. There we go, level 4. And then here's the big Act 6 respect. All the gems, where they'll go, and your weapons and stuff. A reminder to get your 3 silver oils for your sovereignty anoint, otherwise you're not going to be able to have all of your auras. And then we switch over to here, a note that after you've done Merc Lab in Act 10 and you're entering to Endless Heist, you change your auras, because we stick with Purity of Elements. It's just easier in Act 6. Just whack on Purity of Elements. It helps you sort out your resists from your Katava 5 kill. And then further down, I'm really dehydrated today, all the uniques I suggest, how to craft your bow, your Trinity bow, unless you want to buy one, the Primal Quiver base, alt quality gems, and if you want to go, the only woke gems we are after are awakened elemental damage for attacks, which are stupidly expensive. So if you want to go for those, go for it. It's not required, but yeah, they do a ton of damage. Don't go for a headhunter on this build. If you're staying in Heist, it's not worth it. If you're going to go do some mapping, go for it. Headhunter works, but ideally the belt is either going to be a Mage Blood, or if you're in Omniscience, you are looking for a well-rolled attribute base. It doesn't have to be Synth. A Stygian Vice with Dex essences work. You throw your Dex essence on it, get your Dex, and you're hoping for a high roll strength, hoping for an open suffix so you can craft on an intellect base, possibly life, with elemental damage to attacks. That's where we go from there. So yeah, that's the updated stuff. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Sorry it's a bit longer, even with me talking really fast. Like and subscribe if you want. I don't make any IRL money from YouTube. I am medically retired on state funds. Appreciate it if you like and subscribe. Stay safe in Rogue Harbour.